Hello and welcome, my friends, to Pensioners Corner. Today we're talking about an important update from the Department for Work and Pensions, the DWP. Many of you have written to me lately, feeling uncertain and even a little uneasy about the new housing and home rules confirmed for this November. So let's go through it together, slowly and clearly, so you can understand exactly what's happening, what it means for you, and what steps, if any, you may need to take. Now, first things first, this video isn't about panic, it's about clarity. There's been a lot of chatter online, some of it confusing, some of it exaggerated, and I know how quickly that kind of talk can cause worry. But here on Pensioners Corner, we focus on facts, not fear. For many people over 65, home is more than just a building. It's a place filled with memories, a space you've earned after years of hard work and dedication. So when you hear about something called new home rules, it's natural to feel concerned. That's why we're going to take the time to explain it calmly and clearly, without any complicated jargon or technical language. The DWP's recent update mainly involves how living arrangements and household details are reported and verified. This means they want to ensure their records are accurate, who lives where, and whether any recent changes could affect certain benefits. Now, this isn't something entirely new. The DWP has always reviewed living situations as part of its benefit checks. But this November, they're tightening the process slightly, mostly to improve accuracy and reduce errors. So, for example, if you've recently started living with a family member, or if someone new has moved into your home, the DWP may want you to confirm those details. It's important to understand this isn't a new cut in benefits, nor is it an attempt to remove support. It's more of a system update, a way to keep records current. The department says it's focused on ensuring that help reaches the people it's meant for, and that mistakes in payments are reduced. But let's be honest, the way these announcements are written can often feel cold and technical. For someone opening an official letter full of warnings and bold statements, it can feel intimidating. Even if nothing's wrong, the language used can make it seem like something serious is happening. That's one of the biggest problems, the communication itself. It's not always explained in a friendly, human way. So if you've received a letter from the DWP recently and it sounded worrying, please don't panic. Take a moment, read through it slowly, and if you're unsure, ask for help. Sometimes a few sentences in these letters can sound far more alarming than they really are. Let's go through what these November home rules actually mean. The DWP has confirmed that they'll be paying closer attention to shared living situations. This means if someone moves in with you, perhaps an adult child, a grandchild, or a friend, the department wants to make sure their systems reflect that. For many pensioners, this change won't make any difference at all to their payments. If your situation hasn't changed, in other words, if you're living the same way you were before, then your pension credit, or housing benefit should continue as normal. The only time it might matter is if there's been a change in your household that affects income, rent, or council tax. For instance, if a relative moves in and contributes financially, that could be seen as a change of circumstances. But if it's just someone staying temporarily to help you or to recover from an illness, that usually won't affect your main benefits, though you might still need to let the DWP know. And this is where confusion often starts. Many seniors don't always realize when something counts as a change that needs to be reported. Maybe your daughter stays with you a few nights a week, or your grandson moved in to save on rent. Those little things can sometimes be relevant to your benefit record, even if the payments don't change. The key point is, it's always better to tell the DWP than to stay silent out of uncertainty. If you're not sure, a simple phone call or written note explaining your situation can save a lot of stress later on. The DWP's system is designed to check details automatically, often through cross-referencing with local councils, HMRC, or housing authorities. That's what's changing this November. The digital record checks are becoming more efficient. But again, it does not mean that people will be facing surprise inspections or intrusive visits. There have been rumors online about the DWP sending people to knock on doors or question neighbors. That's not true. There's no new policy allowing random home visits or intrusive investigations. This update is about data, not doorsteps. Now, I understand why some of you are still uneasy. Over the years, the relationship between the public and government departments hasn't always felt warm or trusting. Letters can sound harsh, phone calls can take hours, and it often feels like no one is really explaining things clearly. That's exactly why Pensioners' Corner exists, to help you understand things in simple, friendly terms. Your entitlement to your pension or to any support you receive isn't a gift. You've paid into the system for decades. You've earned this support through your hard work, your contributions, and your taxes. You have every right to clear, respectful communication about it. So if you receive a letter and it feels intimidating, remember this: it's okay to ask for clarification. It's okay to phone the DWP or reach out to trusted organizations like Citizens Advice, Age UK, or your local benefit office. They exist to help you understand your rights and guide you through any updates. Now, let's talk about what you can do right now, practically speaking. Step 1. Review your recent DWP letters or online account. Check if any information about your address, household, or living situation might be out of date. Step 2. If something has changed, even slightly, contact the DWP and inform them. It can be as simple as saying, "My son moved in temporarily," or "My grandson is staying for a few months." Step 3. Keep a record of your communication. Write down the date, time, and who you spoke with, or keep a copy of any letters you send. That way, if there's ever confusion later, you'll have proof that you did your part. And finally, step 4. Don't rush into decisions out of fear. Take your time to understand the situation before acting. If you're unsure about how the new verification checks might affect you, speak to an advisor. Many local councils offer free benefit advice specifically for seniors, and they're often more patient than national helplines. You might be wondering, why now? Why is the DWP tightening these processes in November? The department says it's part of an ongoing effort to modernize its systems. They're using more digital tools to make benefit administration smoother with fewer errors and delays. That might sound good in theory, but for many pensioners who aren't comfortable online, it can feel like another layer of complexity. That's why it's important for the DWP to remember the human side of their work, that behind every form and every policy, there's a person, often an older person, just trying to live peacefully. There's also something I want to make very clear. Even if the DWP requests updates or verification, it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. These letters are often automatic. They're sent out to thousands of people at once, as part of routine checks. The problem is the tone. It can sound like an accusation when it's really just a request for confirmation. That's why I encourage you to always read through calmly, and if the wording feels too strong, remind yourself, it's a standard letter, not a personal warning. Let's also take a moment to discuss emotional well-being. When government updates come out, especially ones about housing or payments, they can trigger anxiety. And that's completely natural. If you're feeling stressed or confused, reach out to someone you trust. Sometimes just talking about it with a friend, a neighbor, or a family member can make a big difference. You might even help someone else who's struggling with the same uncertainty. If you know another pensioner who might be worried about these new DWP rules, please share this video with them. Sometimes one calm voice can ease the minds of many. Now, as we move forward into November, the most important thing is to stay calm, informed, and proactive. Yes, the DWP is confirming new home verification rules. Yes, they'll be checking details a bit more closely. But no, this doesn't mean anyone's benefits are being taken away or that pensioners are being targeted. It's about keeping the system accurate and fair and making sure the right support goes to the right people. That's all. So, please, take a deep breath and remind yourself that you've dealt with much bigger challenges in life. This is just another small wave, and like all waves, it will pass. Before I wrap up, I want to remind you of something truly important. You are not powerless. You have rights, and you deserve respect. You have the right to ask questions, the right to clear answers, and the right to be treated with dignity. If a letter confuses you, don't hesitate to ask for help. If a phone call takes too long, don't give up, try again, or ask a trusted person to help make that call. You've spent your life caring for others. Now it's time to make sure you're cared for too.